Hold on, give me a second. Let some people get in the chat room. Here we go. All right, you guys, it's Search for Huru, Dynasty Mir, the Capitan Don, back again with another episode of Living and Doing Business in Africa, the Ivory Coast edition. Have a good friend of mine, John Liu, who I met years back. John, we've known each other now for probably like, what, 10 years?
10 years ago, about 7 years ago. So yeah, before that, so it's about 10.
Yeah, so we met about 10 years ago in Atlanta. We have a mutual friend, Alan, who's also from Ivory Coast. Yeah, so basically what we're gonna do, we're gonna ask some questions as far as, business opportunities in Ivory Coast, people who aren't from Ivory Coast who are interested into relocating to Ivory Coast, what they can expect, and etc. So, John Liu, I know. Give people your background. I know you're an accountant still, correct?
Yes, I'm still in accounting. Basically, my background in finance.
Yes.
Back in 1996 as a student. So graduated in 2000, and I just got recruited to work for a firm handling money for containers. So I did that for about 10 years, running from Atlanta to Miami, and then to LA until 2012 when I had a stroke. I stayed in States one more year and moved back to Africa, my home country of Ivory Coast, or Cote d'Ivoire, as we say.
Okay. Now, in LA, you did some work with the Black Eyed Peas, is that correct?
Yeah, that's the main thing I did. I was the controller for the awards for the ESG award, and I did that for about 2 years.
Yeah. The people in the chat room are saying they hear a lot of static. So let's just rock with it regardless, man. And I'll try to, I guess, kind of just repeat what you said. But yeah, a lot of people are just saying there's a lot of static. John, do you have any earphones? Maybe you could plug into the mic and talk through the mic through your earphones, maybe?
Yeah, let me try that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to go get it.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll wait here.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah, we're working on it. Brother John is in the Ivory Coast, so I guess we have some technical difficulties, but we're definitely gonna go on with the show. And if I have to, repeat or translate whatever Brother John says that we can't hear, then we're gonna go ahead and rock with it. How's everybody doing in the chat room? You guys good in the chat room? Prince Jalabar, you were first. Dumala, brother. I don't know what that means, but Dumala. What's Dumala mean, family? Yeah, we're gonna rock with the show regardless. No, he's in Ivory Coast. Yeah, he's in Ivory Coast. Nicole, can you hear me? You just couldn't hear John, correct? Can you ask John on jobs with the African Development Bank? Do they tend to sponsor American citizens for work employment? I'll definitely ask the brother. Hey, Mimi, how you doing? I'll ask him. No problem. Some interesting facts on Ivory Coast. So Ivory Coast is the largest French-speaking country outside of France. Also, too, Ivory Coast, I want to say, is the #1 exporter of chocolate in the world, I believe. Don't quote me on that, either #1 or #2. Also, Ivory Coast has the largest, like a basilica or a church.
back. Let me plug my earpiece.
Yeah, plug your pieces. We'll see if that's better. If not, like I said, we're gonna rock with it, and you probably have to talk a little slower. And then if the chat room can't understand something, I'll just repeat it. The largest cathedral. That's right.
Can you hear me now?
Say something else one more time.
See, I'm back.
We're gonna rock with it. It's cool. We're gonna go ahead and roll with it. So John, you were an accountant. You're an accountant. You went to school. Now you came from Ivory Coast to America. When? What year?
1996.
1996, and that was for college, correct?
Yes.
What school did you go to?
I went to UGA for my freshman year. Then I realized that Athens was not a major city because I come from a city of 4 million people. And I ended up in rural Georgia. So I didn't like. After a year, I transferred to Georgia State University.
Okay, so you went to UGA for a couple years, and then you left UGA and went where?
Georgia State University.
Georgia State in Atlanta. Okay.
Yes, and I graduated from Georgia State. I went back to master's in Georgia State.
Okay. So what was your undergrad in, and what was your master's in?
My undergrad was in finance.
Okay.
My MBA was in personal financial planning. So I'm basically a certified financial planner.
So you're a certified financial planner. Okay. Now, and as someone, I might be jumping ahead of myself a little bit. Let's talk about financial planning in regards to Africa. Are there a lot of opportunities? Because I know there's a booming middle class in Africa, specifically in the Ivory Coast. Is there a need for financial planners in the Ivory Coast, do you think?
There is a need, but it's not structured the same way. So a lot of people who do financial advisory, financial planning, focus on insurance and banking, let's say budgeting advice, things like that. So it's not like in the US focusing on 401k and retirement planning, which is what I was training in. So it's pretty basic in Africa, teaching people how to budget on their income and directing them towards the best insurance products. And then from there, depending on the level of middle class people you have, you can advise them on additional things, like investing in real estate, things like that. So.
Okay. So if someone's I guess a certified financial planner here in America, and they wanted to come to Ivory Coast, is there any other type of licensing that one get in order to be a financial planner in Ivory Coast?
I actually think there is an opportunity. There's no governing body like in the US for the certified financial planning. And in terms of investment, you do have the SEC in the US. Over here, the Ministry of Finance that's supposed to look after investors' interests, but there's been stories of people setting up Ponzi schemes. Because, like as you mentioned, there's a growing middle class, and those people are looking for ways to invest their money. Because it's not quite structured out here. You get a lot of scammers that come out here and offer shady investment opportunities for people. So, and just run up with the money. I really actually think there's an opportunity to structure the financial planning community in Cote d'Ivoire. So somebody with the right money could go out here. But there will be a lot of educational element to bring in, tell people about financial planning. So I think the first entrant will have a lot of opportunity to capitalize upon. First in the market, on the market, you become a reference to everybody that comes that has a need for financial planning. So a person with a background like mine would do well to basically market themselves as a financial planning expert to the TV talk circuit, from TV and radio, and tell people about financial planning, educate them about the need, and then maybe do a book or something like that to get people interested about the necessity of financial planning. So that's how I see it. Somebody that would want to do it down here would have to create a market and structure it themselves. Something I would have liked to do, but given my disability right now, I have a chance to do it. I went back to working as a CFO for a legal firm.
Okay. Yeah, it's just the static is bad. I mean, we can't hear you.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. So basically, just to kind of recap, there's a great opportunity for financial planning in Ivory Coast. Is the financial planning industry in Ivory Coast, is it saturated? Kind of like
it is not. It's not even structured. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Somebody would have to come in as a first entrant, would create market, and will capitalize on that by being the first one out here. There really is an opportunity for somebody who has let's say do a book about what is financial planning, break down the basic people out here. You have to understand that people are actually getting into the middle class right now. So they're not familiar with a lot of things. We do have a couple of billionaires locally that you can bring selling insurance products. They set up life or health insurance companies. And then those people that started to have the money and got into that market. Companies that worth millions, hundreds of millions of dollars right now, just because those guys were the first on the market.
Okay. So you mentioned something about life and health insurance. Now, and this might be an ignorant question. Is life insurance in a place like the Ivory Coast, is it popular?
I wouldn't say popular, but it is becoming popular.
Okay.
It is becoming popular. Like I said, this insurance company is becoming several $100 million a year company just off of life and casualty insurance, like auto insurance, home insurance, things like that. So.
Okay. Now, do you have to be licensed in Ivory Coast to sell insurance?
There is a licensing process. The insurance industry is fairly well structured because those guys that came first. Actually, a lot of people try to follow afterwards. French companies, Moroccan companies came out here. So the industry is actually fairly structured when it comes to health and life insurance. So you cannot just come out here and shop. You have to go through a licensing process.
Yeah. And so as far as investing, let me ask you this: is cryptocurrency, has that hit Ivory Coast yet?
No, not yet. People are still emerging economy. So right now, it's people providing the basics to the masses that are running the cryptocurrency. It hasn't hit here yet. Not many people do have brokerage accounts anyway. So.
Okay, so when you guys do investments, it's primarily just
real estate. Side businesses, yeah.
Is there? I know there's a stock market in Nigeria. Is there like a stock market? Like, does the Ivory Coast have its own stock market like they do in Nigeria?
Yes, actually, they do have one, but it's the regional stock market.
Okay.
Although they're in French-speaking countries, because those economies are so small, there are major companies that are traded on the Ivory Coast stock market.
Okay. Now, to be a stockbroker, or let's see, to be a stockbroker, do you have to have some type of licensing in Ivory Coast? It pretty much is. Let me ask you this: is for everything in America that you have to have a license for when it comes to financial planning, being a stockbroker, selling insurance, doing anything as far as securities? Do you have to have a license for that as well in Ivory Coast?
Not for all of it. Like I said, for entrance you do for stocks, you might, like for financial planning, there's no governing body. SEC, Security and Exchange Commission, that checks what companies do. As the Ministry of Finance, I look after what they do, but it's not as structured as the States. So
Okay.
you leave room for somebody that's real creative to come and do whatever they want. The barriers of entry are not as high as in the States. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. When's your guys' election coming up? Is it coming up pretty soon at all, or
2020?
Oh, 2020.
So it's got 3 more years.
Okay. I know. I want to say maybe 8 or 9 years back, during your guys' last election, there was somewhat, I don't want to say a coup. Was there like a military coup or?
No, it's just that the previous president didn't want to, that he lost. So there was a kind of a military uprising. So.
Okay. Now, did the French back the guy that didn't want to leave, or did the French back the new guy? Because I know I saw some footage of
the French backed the new guy.
Okay.
The young guy didn't want to leave, so the French army actually helped some of the members of the local army that wanted to oust the old guy. And that's how that happened. So things were kind of shaky for a while out here, for about 6 months until the old president was ousted.
Okay. Now, Jean-Luc, Ivory Coast, outside of France, is the largest French-speaking country in the world. Is that correct?
It's actually, the city is actually one of the largest French-speaking cities. I think Congo is one of the largest French-speaking Congo. They do have 70 million people. So we only 25 million people. So I don't think we're the largest outside of France. But the city of Abidjan, outside of Paris and Montreal, is one of the largest French-speaking cities.
Okay, so outside of Montreal, outside of the Abidjan, which is the capital of Ivory Coast, correct?
Montreal and Paris. Okay. And maybe Kinshasa in Congo. It's in the top 5 largest French-speaking cities in the world, which I didn't know until recently.
Okay. Now, if someone is relocating to Ivory Coast, should it be a must for them to learn French, or do people speak English there too?
No, it's mostly French. Some people do speak English now because the country's recently opened after the crisis you spoke about in 2010, 2011. So you do have a lot of Americans, British, and people from all over the world. So English is the second official language. I do have a lot of American friends out here. Companies like G and Exxon are located out here. So you do have American expats out here. It's a small community, but those people manage.
Okay.
You do have to speak French though.
Yeah, because that's how it is in pretty much all the French-speaking, the Francophone countries in Africa. Yeah, you have to speak French or the local language, because English is like the 4th language for what I've experienced. Now,
yes, because
now let me ask, the Ivory Coast is known for cocoa and
cocoa.
Right, right. So cocoa is like the number 1 export. Ivory Coast is the number 1 exporter in the world. Cocoa.
Number 1 exporter in the world of cocoa. The raw material for chocolate. Yeah.
Okay. Now, as far as I would say the natural resources in Ivory Coast, do you think that native indigenous people from Ivory Coast control the natural resources, or is it primarily Chinese or foreign interests that control pretty much the natural resources?
Actually, in terms of our resources, we don't like other countries. We don't have a lot of oil. So all we have is agriculture is the main thing. Most of that is owned by the locals. And that's a good thing for us so far. But let's say we find oil tomorrow, it's going to become a big deal. multinational. So most of our resources are owned for the local income to agriculture. And in terms of transforming those raw materials, you do have a lot of international companies out here that do that. You have Cargill that's out here, company that owns Mars and M&M's. They do a lot of, they get a lot of their chocolate from here. So they do have a factory here that transform the cocoa into cocoa, but no, not cocoa, cocoa powder and stuff like that. The raw material for all the candy and stuff like that. And then you have a Singaporean company called Online. They're out here too, and a couple of other French companies. But most of the resources, the land is owned by the locals, and the locals are the one farming it.
Okay.
They're selling to the international market.
Okay. So a lot of the natural resources are pretty much, for the most part, the natural resources controlled by locals.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So I mean, that's kind of the opposite of what you hear as far as in a lot of other.
Yes, that's what I said, because there's a lot more money involved in those other countries. There's a lot of mining resources out there, but it hasn't really been exploited. Maybe that's why it hasn't happened so far. Here it's mostly agricultural. So agribusiness is big out here. From what I was saying, palm oil and rubber. So yeah.
You said rubber?
Rubber, yeah. Cashew nuts recently. We just surpassed India as the top producer of cashew in the world. So a lot of companies like Costco import their cashews from Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay.
From Ivory Coast, yeah.
Okay. What let me ask you this. Now you work for, your mom has a booming accounting business in Abidjan.
She has a law firm, so yeah. Took over the finance and administration department because I was being educated overseas. There's a funny story about that. When I came back in the process of recuperating and going through rehab, somebody suggested embezzle $50,000 from my firm. So I'm like, I'm MBA educated, so why would I go somewhere else? I could actually learn my skills and work over there. And I'm sure it gives me flexibility in terms of me going through rehab and things like that. So I applied for a few jobs, but the mentality here being different. Like I said, I was paralyzed on one side, the left side. So people see me again, they assume that my mind is also touched. So I'm getting no back on this interview. I decided to join family business.
Sure.
It's been going on for a year and a half now.
Let me ask you this: as far as wages, as far as salaries and what people make per hour, in your field, as far as financial planner, if you're working for a company, will the wages be similar there as they are here in America or Europe?
It depends if you work for small local firms or international companies. International companies usually pay global level wages. You work for local firms, it may vary. Then again, if you're owner of state firm, you actually make more money than you would make as an employee for an international firm. The salary is like fairly, I want to say low for an emerging economy. People out here think you're middle class, you live on $15, $20 a day. So, which is about $600 a month. So $1,000 a month. That's what a local will probably make. But I do know people here making $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month, depending on the field.
Okay. What? Let me ask you. So, someone in the chat room has a question.
Yes,
now, the African Development Bank is in Ivory Coast, correct?
Yeah, they're headquartered there. Yes. Yeah.
Are there? How is someone, I guess, get in contact with them in regards to job opportunities?
The website AFDB.com, African Development Bank.com. I actually replied with a couple of friends, but one guy hired, I didn't. So yeah, they actually pay up into the 6 figures. Actually, a lot of the expatriates I know work there. They love it over here.
Okay, so just go to the website and apply. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, AFTP, African Development Bank.
Okay. Yeah, Cashmere, just go to the website and apply. I'm pretty sure there's some opportunities there.
So the thing people don't know about that bank is that back in the early 2000s, the bank opened its capital to a few international non-African countries like the US, France, and Brazil are members of the bank, are part of the board of the bank now. So their citizens actually encouraged to apply. I met an American guy and I was like, how come you work for the African Development Bank? He said he was hired from the States right after college and came out here, living a good life, making about 80 to 90 grand. And out here, that's like almost making $200,000 a year in the US.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the cost of living is about a third of what it would be in the US.
So what kind of job can you get at the African National Bank making $200,000 a year?
I would say the bank works with countries, and depending on your expertise, you could be like I said, depending on your skills, you could be studying certain industries for the bank and helping them land into those industries. I know my friend Victoria is an American citizen. He worked for a company in the US, I think a tobacco company, came out here. She's doing business. She's in the 6 figures based on that background. And then depending on which job you hire, they train you, obviously. So the African Development Bank is one of the best options for somebody to come out here, for sure.
Okay. So ask, someone had a question. Are you familiar with the Festival of Mask?
Yes, it's in the center of the country. It's in September or October of every year.
When is it again? The festival?
September or October. I don't have the specific date. So you do have a lot of people that come visit the country for the Festival of Mask. Yeah.
Okay, is that for like the indigenous tribes in Ivory Coast to celebrate?
A lot of tribes actually take part in that festival, and they do actually bring out their masks in that festival, and it's a sight to behold, something to see definitely.
I gotta come. I gotta come. I gotta come to the Festival of Mask.
My favorite one is the Abisa Festival. That one is in April or May of every year. It's a big side festival, all the dancing and
okay. And you're saying
quite interesting, and
and people from all over the world come to the Festival of Mask.
Yeah, it's like almost like a rave, basically an African rave. People dance from like 10 p.m. until 6 o'clock in the morning, African beats, and then you have the mask, and then the traditional parade come from the royal family of that area. So it's been going on for 20-something years now. It's getting bigger and bigger. Now that the African Development Bank came back, a lot of the expatriates actually patronize that festival. So it's getting bigger and bigger since 2010.
Yeah, I gotta come to one. I definitely gotta come to. I definitely gotta check out a Festival of the Mask. Life in Ivory Coast, in Abidjan. If I wanted to rent, or buy, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, like say 15 minutes in a good area, 15 minutes outside of downtown. Like what am I looking for as far as expenses, as far as rent or buying
Yeah, rent would be for a 3-bedroom house. Something decent would be about $800 to $1,000.
That's not.
And I'm talking about decent neighborhood.
That's not bad. And what about if I wanted to buy one?
Buy would be $100,000 to $150,000. Again, depending on the neighborhood. I actually suggest people buy apartments instead of houses because the maintenance of the house. Let's say you're an American, right? You work here. In the summer, you want to go back home. It's easier to deal with an apartment. You lock your door. The building has security. You're gone. The house, you probably have to have a guard to look after your house for the time that you're gonna. So, and like I said, 100 to 150,000 is what you for a house.
Now, if someone wanted to relocate to Ivory Coast, what's the process as far as gaining nationality? Is it easier just to marry somebody, or what's?
No, it's not that complicated. You have to apply almost like the equivalent of a green card, a resident card, almost like a working visa or working permit, and it's automatically renewed after 1 year. But past 2 years, you have to reapply again. But it's not that complicated to do.
Okay.
Actually, Ivory Coast actually is hospitality. It's a hospitable land. We do have a lot of people. It's about 30 to 40% of the population is from somewhere else, Ivory Coast.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I still have to visit. Let's see if we got any more questions in the chat. I know it's late out there. Agriculture. What kind of agricultural opportunities? I know we talked about cashew. I know we talked about cocoa. Are there any other agricultural opportunities in Ivory Coast for people to
Vegetable is big because, like I said, vegetable crops like lettuce, tomatoes, and things like that. We do have the land and the weather is favorable to that. We do have a lot of people that actually do that informally. Let's say you get a quarter of an acre land, people do that and then live off of that. Those people here, people cook fresh every day. So tomatoes, lettuce, onions, greens, things that people buy regularly. So you have people that are millionaires just growing those crops. And those crops turn over real quick. For tomatoes, I think you can get 3 or 4 crops a year. So things like that, it's a good opportunity. Like I said, a quarter acre land, you could just do all that. That the multinational are not getting into the locals, but people buy it every day. I know people that have gotten millionaires just by doing that. Onions, like I said, vegetables, onions, tomatoes, garlic, things like that. And it's sold on the market by the truckload. And every housewife would go daily to the market to buy fresh produce and to make the meal for her family. So, and then because Abidjan has 5 million, close to 5 million people, imagine the number of tons of those products that are sold out here. I travel to neighboring countries and they don't have that because their capitals are usually cities of 1 million to 1.5 million people. So it's not as spread out as Abidjan. So the markets don't make as much. Here's a major opportunity. When it comes to agriculture, don't go for the big international crops. Like I say, vegetables and produce is what's big. I'm actually working on something like that myself. I got to tell you about with my brother, and we're trying to grow produce. It's a good side hustle. If you want to make your business, I think you have to dedicate the time, and there's definitely opportunity out here for that. It will take more than, let's say, somebody with 5 grand to definitely get started in something like that. And leave it for that out here.
Are there any opportunities to create workshops to produce mechanical parts in Ivory Coast? What do you think about
that? To do what? What type of shops?
Produce mechanical parts for industrial machines.
I think that's something that's definitely needed out here. Those that are industrial endeavors, because the workforce is out here is qualified by people out here yearning for jobs. As a finance director for the law firm, I get about 10 to 15 applications daily for jobs. So something like producing industrial parts, you definitely have a cheap labor force, and then because of all the agricultural and a lot of infrastructure is being built out here, so mechanical parts I think definitely be needed out in these parts.
What's being built out in Ivory Coast? What's being built?
Infrastructure, a lot of roads and bridges. Okay. So a lot of
So are the Chinese building that, or is that all being
These are open, not the Chinese, just the government are offering bonds, raising money to invest in infrastructure. It's not like other countries where the Chinese are offering to build it for us in exchange for resources. It's not like that out here. So it could be even French, sometimes American companies. Who knows? So, and that's another area where somebody with the expertise, somebody that has worked on federal contracts in that area, come out here and open a firm, and I'm sure they make a killing. Because we welcome expertise, especially somebody coming from the States. Why not?
I mean, basically, when it comes to Africa, and I want to talk to the chat room, whatever you have in mind, there's a need for it. I mean, there's opportunities all throughout Africa. So no matter what it is, I mean, from gyms, I mean, if you're into personal training, to what you said as far as industrial parts, whatever you have in mind, whatever skill you have, it could be utilized in Africa. So, I mean, that's the answer to that. But John, in closing, where can people reach out to you? Like, let me ask you, can you still do practice financial planning here in America from Ivory Coast?
I do have some legacy clients, like I call them. I just had that, and people that work with over the years. And yeah, because we have that established rapport, you just help them out via emails or over the phone. But I still do have some contacts, like this guy that called me last week, looking for a financial advisor. And then that's another with celebrities that know all type of advisors, for regular people to work for millionaires. So I could only direct people towards the best specialists they ever need to.
Okay, so what I'll do, I'll go in and put your information in the description of the video. And so
yes,
people
please.
In the chat room and people who watch this, if you have any financial planning questions, or if you're looking for a financial planner, please reach out to John Liu. If you're in Africa, or if you're here in America and your family might be in Africa and you know they need help with financial literacy, please reach out to John Liu. I've known John. I can vouch for John. I've known John now for 10 years. It's been about 19 years I've known him for. So please reach out to John Liu, and he can definitely help you guys out with that. And John,
like I said, somebody is interested in finding more about Ivory Coast, to put up my email there. Like, I do have 5 friends from the States that are coming here in December just to visit and have a good time. But I'm trying to convince them to come out here and invest. So people want to get tips on visiting Ivory Coast, just reach out to me. Why not?
Yeah,
a lot of things happening out here.
So go ahead and shout out your. In fact, I'll put it in the chat too, and it's on your Facebook page. Go ahead and shout out your email address, your website. I mean, all your contact information. Go ahead and shout it out so that people can have it.
Okay, my email address is jtahou@gmail.com.
Okay, so guys, reach out to John Liu if you have any financial planning questions, any more questions in regards to relocating to the Ivory Coast, if that's somewhere you want to go, if you want to visit. I'm pretty sure John probably has contacts, or he does have contacts in regards to people who will show you around Ivory Coast if you want to go there. Because tourism is another great opportunity in places like the Ivory Coast.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, hospitality, tourism, the skills that to learn in the West. I had a friend that used to work as a waitress in Atlanta, came out here and opened a restaurant. Now she has a chain of restaurants. She's one of the biggest restaurateurs in the city. She grosses about $1 million a year from 3 restaurants and a catering company. Because all the people that used to go to Europe or to the States love the service that she provides. She provides it to a level of what she learned in the States. And like you said, every opportunity you think of, you can come out here, make a killing, because if you're the first entrant and you do it right, the money's out here for you to get. So why not?
So you said she was out here in Atlanta.
Yeah, working in a restaurant on Peachtree Center Avenue. She worked there for 10 years. From a waitress, she became an assistant manager, and eventually a manager. So she came out here, opened an American style restaurant, serving burgers, chicken wings and the likes, and all these pastries specialized in her restaurant. Then she opened a second one and then the third one. And she also has a company, catering company on the side. So about $1.5 million just on restoration. Hospitality is big out here. I heard and love to go out. People that want to open bars or nightclubs, why not? It's big out here. It's a lot of people from around the region that come to Abidjan to party. So think of Miami. Abidjan would be the Miami of West Africa. People come here for weekends to party and just enjoy the hospitality or the Ivory hospitality.
Wow.
There's a lot of money in that area.
So the lady, the young lady that opened up the restaurant, you said she's from Zambia originally?
She's from Ivory Coast now.
From Ivory Coast, okay.
Yeah, she was in Atlanta with me for about 10 years. No, she's from Ivory Coast.
Okay, cool.
Came back home. And just for her knowledge from America, and she's been really successful doing that. Forbes Africa did the cover feature on her. So a bunch of magazines.
Forbes Africa.
Yeah, that's Forbes Africa. They're based out of France. Mm-hmm. They cover all of Africa. Big success stories in business. And
what? Let me ask you. What else can people, for someone who wants to relocate to Ivory Coast, and this is the last question, what can they expect? What kind of maybe adversity will they face by relocating to Ivory Coast? Like, let me ask you, when you moved back to Ivory Coast, what was your experience like when you moved back? And maybe, people, it might be similar for other people who are.
Yeah, because like I said, I've been too Americanized. The toughest part for me was the lack of use of ATM cards. You pay with your cards everywhere in the States. Out here, you mainly have to carry cash because that what exists to pay with your Visa or your MasterCard, but it's not as widespread as in the States.
Right.
So out here, let's say for a weekend, just in case anything might happen, you may have to keep a couple of $100,000 on you just in case. You do have ATMs. You do have ATMs, but not all over the city. That's why it killed me for the first few months I was here. I was like, let's go out and party. And then I'm like, I ran out of cash. I had to get in a cab and go to an ATM for my bank, maybe 5 minutes away. Where in the state, you could just walk to any corner and find even in a cash. Out here, you mostly have to prepare for that, anticipate your cash needs. That's the thing that killed me the most. But other than that, I think that's one of the most developed cities in West Africa. And I was surprised at how developed it's become. People are kind of out here, you won't be, there's a lot of the amenities that you're in the West. Of course, it's still an emerging country. Everything that you base out there is out here, but the only difference would be the quality of it. So. You know what I mean? All out here. Some capitals in West Africa, you go to Bamako or to Niger, you may not get that, but in Abidjan, you get all of it. So, but I advise anybody to come and visit first to get acclimated with it, and then decide if they want to move out here. The people are welcome, and there's no xenophobia. Actually, love foreigners, especially Black America. It's just love, man. Love it out.
Yeah, I got to get out there soon. This year, I will be close to you guys. I'll be in Senegal and Togo and Benin, but I promise you, I'm coming to Ivory Coast.
Good festival, didn't you?
Say that one more time.
So you've been to Benin already, right?
Yeah, I've been to Benin already and Senegal. I love Senegal. I want to go back to the Voodoo Festival in Benin. That's where I'm going again. But this Festival of Masks, you tell me, you find out in fact, here we go, John. Tell me when the Festival of Masks is, find out the dates, and I will come.
I'm looking at it right now. I don't have the dates. Okay, let me I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
And you can share in the chat room if you want.
Yeah, find out the dates, and I'm coming at you. Because next year I plan on going to next year I'll be back in Senegal. I have to go to Namibia again.
There's a lot of stuff out here. Senegal is cool, but Ivory Coast I think is nice. Don't call me biased, but.
And then I'm supposed to go to Gabon, and then I'm coming to this next year is going to be Senegal, Namibia, and I'm coming to Ivory Coast, and I just got to figure out a fourth country. So I'll definitely be in Senegal, Namibia, and I'm coming to Ivory Coast next year, Jalou. Just let me know when the festival of masks are, because I like to hit the festival.
Because I'm out here. Yeah,
yeah, so just find out the date and just send it to me, a festival of masks for next year, and I'm coming. I'll be there. Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and close it out, John Lou. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on and sharing, giving a lot of insight on Ivory Coast and what to expect. And we'll wrap later. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and everybody in the chat room. Thank you for showing up. And until next time, living and doing business in Africa. I think the next one's gonna be South Africa. I got to get with my friend out there. So I think the next one's gonna be South Africa. But John Lou, I appreciate it. And this concludes another episode of Living and Doing Business in Africa. John Lou, I appreciate it. Peace.